All right. Well, look, thank you all very much indeed for giving time to this afternoon. The way we're going to do it is more or less the way we did the first run through, and that is just in pieces, a bit at a time, running through the content and making sure that it works and that all of the logistics are operating really as we want them to, and we're making the right impression with this that we're seeking to make. So it's going to be a bit of a mixture of me saying, okay, we're going to go into this little bit now, and you can participate as a participant, and then we'll take time out afterwards to do a quick debrief and then move on to the next piece. Okay, Hilda, is that good with you? Are you recording this session? So we've got it if we need it?
Yes, I am recording, and I just want a friendly reminder, those of you who are not muted, to please select your name and right-click and mute yourself.
Yeah, that's important. And we don't get any echoes or distractions. Okay, Duncan, can you mute? Brilliant, thank you. All right, so we are going to assume for the purposes of this session this afternoon that we've covered off the first slide, and we've also covered off the next one on housekeeping tips. We would normally do that with the group just to make sure they're all on board. These sessions will be designed to be run in-house, so it's not like it's a public event, so that should make it a bit easier when it comes to prepping people. And there'll be a quick run-through of me as the presenter and a little bit of my background. So having done all that, we'll now go straight into the first piece of practical work. And so what I would be saying here is, okay, so let's get started. And the first thing I'd like you to do is to have a look at a short video. And the first thing I wanted to suggest to you is that, and hopefully this will become absolutely obvious to you, this is a poor example of rapport building. Have a look at the video, make a few notes, and then afterwards we'll debrief it using this whiteboard and just see what conclusions you come to. Poor example then of building rapport.
Thanks, Jeremy. Nusrat, you just joined. Welcome. Hi.
Hi, Nusrat.
Hi.
Well
if you
done.
could right-click on your name to mute yourself, that would be great. Okay, great. Okay, we're going to run through the video, and I'm going to mute myself also. And if you're not able to hear or the quality is poor, please use the text chat to send that message to myself and Jeremy, or to everyone. It's okay.
Wasn't this meeting supposed to start at 10 o'clock?
I thought so.
Well, I hope Alex arrives soon. I have another meeting in 30 minutes.
Yeah, me too.
Hi guys, sorry I'm late. Let's get started. James, could you put that away now, please? Have you both had a chance to look at the figures?
Well, we need to get hold of our contacts and get these figures from the region today.
Too darn right! You better get to it! Both of you! Give me those figures in the next hour!
Okay. What I would like you to do is to annotate on this whiteboard in the spaces that we've shown, what would be some of your observations, what would be some of your comments, so that we can just build up a picture of what it is that is really not a good rapport building skill. Quite the opposite, in fact. So annotate away, use the toolbar, avoid yellow, and we'll have a look at what you are wanting to share. That'll be great.
I would just like to remind you that the T button, the second button, is the type.
So that would break down the communication, if you like, or any positive communication, that defensive body language, harsh words, yeah, pretty evaluative, pretty judgmental words being used by one person to the other, and negative responses, absolutely no sense of collaboration or working together. Blame, therefore, that would build into distrust, lack of loyalty, complete lack of cooperation as a team, accusatory tone, the use of the cell phone while talking to others. Absolutely, and thank you very much all of you for contributing to that. We're going to use that in a moment. Angry and more coming up yet. That's great, Angry. The vocal tone, if you like, was angry, and this sort of terse piece that we've been talking about already. And on the phone tablet, yeah, we've got all of those things. So that's great, everyone. Look, thank you very much indeed for sharing your responses. I'm now going to go on and we'll talk a bit about what we're going to be covering in the session. Okay, everybody, time out, time out. Can we just go back to any thoughts, comments you've got on that little icebreaker, the video and the writing on the whiteboard and the sharing back? Any comments on that? Do you think it worked well? You can give a green tick or a cross or talk to me, we don't mind, just so that we can sense what you think. Declan, Duncan, yep, good. Morris, you can't do this. Nathan, yeah, okay. Nusrat.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm being late to the party.
Sorry, that's all right. Were you able to look at the video?
Yes, I've just watched the video, but I've missed the bit before, obviously.
Oh, well, that was only a quick introduction.
Okay.
Did it work for you and the whiteboard exercise?
Yeah, brilliant. Very, very good.
Thank you. Okay, Hilda, any comments? Well, the video worked a treat, didn't it?
Yes, everything went very well. Morris is sending me texts about the iPad, which I already know because I've tested the iPad. It doesn't show videos all the time. Mine does show a video, but I cannot type at the same time while the video is playing, or it's hard for me to type, or difficult for me to type on the iPad without a keyboard when something is going on, like the activity or the annotation that we just covered.
Yeah.
So that's a known thing because of the iPad and the way it's constructed. However, I've also been told that in 2015's first quarter, it should improve. So we'll see.
Okay, that's great, Hilda. Thank you. Right, we're now going to go back into live mode. So what's this session all about? What are we going to be covering? You'll see here session objectives. What we'd like to do really is to discuss and define rapport, see if we can get a real collaborated view, if you like, of what this is all about. We want to have you take a rapport building questionnaire, a little survey, not a test, there's no right or wrong answers, but it'll give you a profile of where you're strong, or maybe you've got some development needs in this area. We're going to leverage the building rapport results from those questionnaires and identify your personal strengths and areas for development. So that'll be a useful tool for you, and you'll be able to take away that information at the end of the session as well as see it in the session. We would like you to know the ingredients to building rapport. I think we're all pretty mature people and we would probably think whiteboard, what does it mean to build rapport? And list down your ideas as group members and agree on and type a definition for building rapport. So a couple of fairly simple activities. We're going to give you 5 minutes, so just come up with whatever you like and then we can get you back out of your breakout room and have a look at what you've come up with and discuss it with the other groups. So, Hilda, over to you for the breakout.
Yes, Jeremy, thank you. First, because we have some people that are new. Nathan is, and I believe Nusrat, I'm not sure, but Nathan for sure is new to the breakout room. I sent all of you instructions that are fairly simple and are pretty much repetitive of what you see on the screen. So yes, you will see a window as soon as I start the session, and it will ask you to move into the room. So you will need to select yes to move into the room. If you have an exclamation mark next to your name like Nusrat does, that means that she's not active in the session and she will not likely see that window and will likely not go into the room. And the window sometimes does disappear. So if you can be alert and go into the room, when I say, are you ready to go, that would be true.
Yes. Yeah. gosh, what else?
So there are 4 key skill areas for building rapport, and they are in no particular order. Showing interest in the person. It's absolutely critical that if you're going to get anywhere with building rapport, you are going to want to show some interest in that person. We'll talk about that in detail a bit later on. That often is about taking the initiative and introducing yourself as a starter. It's about mirroring body language, and I'll talk more about that. It's a really important point, so that not only do they feel that you're in tune with them and in touch with them, you're not mimicking them, but they are seeing that you are very much you. And okay, we're now going to move on, and over to you, Hilda, because I'd like to see if we can get through the next piece and check out that it works well. This is the questionnaire, the assessment questionnaire.
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm sending the text chat, not the text, through the text chat window, I'm sending you the link that Duncan provided me. If you would just click on that link when I'm done with the instructions, that would be terrific.
To have a look at one of these from you as an individual, and then have a look behind these to see what your own scores are and have a look at some interpretive notes. So may I have a volunteer so that we can have a look at your individual assessment and we can translate it using these interpretive notes? Anybody just like to tell me if you're free? I know Nathan's having to go at 4 o'clock, so that's unfortunate, but somebody else like to just share? Okay, Duncan 2. Let's have a look at Duncan 2, Hilda, and then see what we've got. So here's Duncan's, and we've got a pictorial display, if you like, of his scores. The grey is against the group average, this group this afternoon, and we can see how he's come out highest on vocal modelling, and good high score on that. Building harmony again, a good high score, and well, they're all good high scores. And then we go down to mirroring body language and showing interest. So the issue really here is, let's go to showing interest. The object of the exercise is not just to see the the bar charts, but to get behind them, and in particular have a look at some areas where he could perhaps develop. So can we go to show details on showing interest? And here you've got an explanation of what this element of building rapport is all about. So you've got an overview there of his score and what it overall indicates. He currently has strengths in this area, which he can build on, and these interpretive notes, which he can download, will show the knowledge and skills strengths he can further develop. So Duncan, here we go. If we just scroll down, this is something you can look at after the session in your own time. You can save it to your PC and come back to it later. And what we've got here is a breakdown of what each area of skill looks like, and then ideas for personal development. So when showing interest, it is a good idea to take the initiative, individual where they can find out more detail, because if we move on after this slide, Hilda, we've got the input slides where I actually provide an input to the group on all 4 areas. If we can move on to that next slide, slide 12, I think it is. Can we do that?
Yeah, I